Hi everybody, just thought I'd do a short video on the online version of the app. It gives a lot more detail and find some of the options really useful. So just to start with, you need to put in your email address and password. And once logged in, you come straight to the dashboard. This is obviously quite familiar in terms of what you see on the app, and some obviously detail of things to do today. Most of this you'll see on the app, but as you can see it in a lot more detail in terms of some of the progress indicators. On the left hand side you'll see you've obviously got the dash, which we're on at the moment. At the top we've got training programs, messages that come through from Marius. These are the groups that we are in at the moment. The meal plans, which are really good, and then you can go into detail on progress and all the goodie badges that we get as we progress. So let's take a look at the training program, and I think this is probably the one that I found really useful to go into, particularly at the start of a new phase, which we're about to go into. So when we take a look at the training programs, it starts with the main heading, then you've got the different phases, so the different months that we've been in, and obviously here we've got the phase 4, which is the current month, and we're about to start a new month going into June, and then we've got the details of whatever the challenge is that particular month, which we've obviously just done squat jumps. So this is kind of where I find it really useful, particularly as I say at the start of a new phase, because you can see, let's take phase 4, which we've just been on. You can see the different workouts that you have within the program, and if you've got new sessions to go into within the new phase, then I find this, as I say, useful at the start. You can go into each one, see what are the different supersets that you'll be doing, and if you're not clear on what they are, this is a kind of really good time to do some prep at the start of the month or the start of the phase. You can go into the particular, so this one is cross leg stretch, and actually see the detail. Now I know we can get these videos on the app, but they're sometimes not as easy to see, but also you get to see the real detail on the online website, and also kind of looking through the instructions in relation to the specific detail of what that exercise is about. And I think this is probably one of the things that I've found as I've gone through the different months. You know, getting the most out of every exercise is about knowing the detail, is about kind of doing this preparation beforehand and understanding exactly how to do the exercise to get the most. I mean, if you're going to be at the gym, you might as well get the most out of it while you're there. So kind of playing these videos to start with, reading the instructions, understanding, you know, what levels and endurance type it's going to be, and really doing that prep work to start with is really good. And you can see all the different ones and the actual amount of time you've got to do them here. I really suggest that when you get your new plan through for June, to spend a little bit of time going into the phase and going into the different exercises and doing that bit of prep really makes a difference, I found. Okay, over on the left hand side we've obviously got messages from Marius, and they'll all be listed. The different groups that we've had over the last few months. So last one was 100 squats a day, and if you just click on see one of these, you can see the chat that's been going on. And obviously this is the last picture that we had yesterday at the Warrior session. So you can obviously scroll through these, see who's made the comments just by hovering over. So yeah, a good look back on all the different challenges and the groups that we've had, and obviously Wednesday wins. Have a look in here as well, and yeah, the day when the guys went bowling. So yeah, all kind of easy, and obviously when you kind of go through and you can scroll, you can look back, and form check is obviously a really good one as well, to see the different videos. Some good videos there from Artem. So yeah, I think one of these things is looking back on information that's really useful, going on the online web site rather than the app. Just makes it a lot more interesting and easy to see. Okay, you've got meal plans then next over on the left, and I don't use this very often, but I've been looking at this in a little bit more detail, and clearly there's some really good information in here around different meals. Clicking on these, seeing the actual video of how the meal's made, and all the detail in terms of ingredients and directions. Some really good information in there, and easy to follow and easy to see clearly on the website. Now this is the next best, in my opinion. Looking back at progress, I think one of the you don't want to see all of that stuff, but one of the things that I found from really kind of taking stock of what you've done, where you've been, the progress that you made, and looking back on some of the detail is really motivating and really useful. So obviously on here you've got down the left hand side all the different measures, and you've got over here you can go from 1, 3, 6 months, etc. And I found that probably 3 months, certainly at the moment, maybe 6 months is a good indicator to look over in terms of time span. So you've got body weight, you've got body fat, everything under the biometrics, BMI, resting heart rate, blood pressure, all this kind of information. So we'll kind of drop that back, and then obviously body measurements if you keep them. Nutrition graphs, yeah, this is the one I think keep an eye on the online website, because you can really see the breakdown of the calorie intake, the caloric burn, calories in and out, etc. So these kind of graphs give some really good indicators. So you've obviously got your middle line, your solid line showing what your target is, and then you've got a kind of a range of the top and bottom. So anything that sits within this range, you've got the kind of solid yellow, and then as you can see, anything that sits above or below, then it's greyed out. And if we kind of just look over the month of May, you then start to see, how many times have you actually hit within that range on calories, if that's something you're measuring. And obviously as you hover over each bar, you can see exactly what it is. Your protein, that's the one that I'm kind of trying to focus on as much as possible. I'm not too concerned about them going over, but obviously the ones that go under are the ones that I want to take a note of. Carbs, and then fat, and then this great one down here giving you a good indicator of what your macro distribution is in terms of protein, carbs and fat. So some really good information to look back on in terms of your nutrition. So come back out of that one and take a look at the others that are in there. So obviously you've got your steps, sleep, exercises. Clearly this is a biggie as well. I mean, you can look at each of them, of the exercises, take a look over say 3 months and get a good indicator of kind of where you've been in terms of the weights that you might be lifting, and so on. And if you kind of take a view, that's even more detail around this particular exercise that was completed, the day 3 back and shoulders. So you can see exactly what was used, how long it took, and what you recorded on that particular day, on that particular session. So some really fantastic detail that you can compare. And I suppose the best way to compare it is right down at the bottom, where we've got your cardio activities, but then this one here, review by month. And if you go into review by month and obviously pick a full month, then you can generate that one. Then you can actually see everything that you've done in that month actually broken down across the different, so 100 squat jumps. When you recorded them, what your heart rates were, cardio stretch, cardio and stretch, chest and arms. I mean, this is just great detail to see your progress. You'll be able to see, certainly over a 6 month period, where you've been, what you've done, what your sets have been. So some really good detail. You can review by workout. So select the particular workout. So for example, let's go for the 30th of May on legs. Once again, that gives you all your different exercises that you did and what you recorded in terms of weights and reps. So yeah, I think this kind of giving you progress, understanding where you've been, where you are, what your kind of next steps are, really, really useful. And then obviously the last one, badges earned. So you can see all the badges that you've collected. Cool, so that's about it, guys. I just wanted to kind of spend that little bit of time putting together some insights into the online web application. Just so much more detail and easy to follow. You can drill down even further into more detail and kind of understand what progress you've made. And as I say, the biggest thing for me is doing the preparation when you get a new month, really understanding those exercises in detail so that you get the absolute most out of every exercise you do while you're at the gym. Okay, that's it. Cheers, guys.